It's all about humanity.
Hey guys, this is Brandon, owner and founder here at Upscale Detail in Vero Beach, Florida. Wanted to welcome you to our shop and our channel here on YouTube. Really looking forward to creating some exciting content that really shows the day-to-day operations of a high-end detail shop. Little background on me: 2 years ago I left a full-time corporate job, really chased my dreams as a car guy to elevate service and elevate the level of detailing in my area here. So a little bit about how we started here at Upscale Detail. Left a successful job. Found this place actually through my neighbor. Next door to our shop here is a automotive repair shop that my neighbor goes to. He races his cars, breaks them a lot, constantly over there. He tells me, hey man, you should open up a bay at this location there, right next to a high-end maintenance spot. You'll get tons of cars. So I go and I call the number on the window and we talk with the landlord, and it's an astronomical amount of money per month. And I'm like, there's no way you can possibly do this, out the gate. But, talking with my wife, family, support, like, let's just do it. Let's put all our cards on the table and try something out. I sign the lease, I walk in, it's 4 walls, nothing here, and I'm broke. And I'm like, what do I do? I start posting ads on Facebook, on Craigslist. Come get your car detailed for $100. Whatever I could do to just get cars in the door and prevent me from sitting downstairs watching Netflix all day, hoping somebody comes and knocks down the door. That's what I did, and I ground it out. And there's days that I went home and told my wife I detailed cars when I didn't, because I didn't want her to think I was a failure. But it's how you organically grow the business is what has made me to this point today, like, hardened as a business owner. And like every customer that comes to the door, I've just learned to appreciate them because I know what it takes to get them in here. So when we started, it was me and the 4 walls, equipment that I bought, half at Harbor Freight, the other half, whatever I had in my garage laying around, borrowing stuff from people, and just faking it till I made it. I always treated everyone really well. My pricing was competitive. I did good work. If I messed something up, I owned it. And just starting the business that way is what allows you to grow. And the people that start with everything and lie to themselves and say that they're the best around are the ones that go out of business within a year. The ones that grind it out every day and start from nothing are the ones that'll be successful, because you know what it's like to have nothing and to come from nothing and to make it into something that's actually a viable business. And that's really what I did. And I don't have a rich family that I got a loan from. I don't, my credit's the same as everybody else's in America. It's not, it's okay, but it's not the greatest. I can't go out and get $1 million loan from the bank. I think when I started this place, I had maybe 10 grand in the bank, and I had, as the shop sits today, there's over $1 million invested. And I started off with 10 grand, and I've got car payments, I've got a mortgage, just like everybody else. I've got bills, and you can't always take all your money and invest it into a business. So to organically grow, you have to be willing to compromise with some things. And although my goal long term for this business was to make it a high-end detail shop, I started off doing the quick stuff. I remember a Saturday when I came in here and I cleaned throw up out of this lady's Buick. And I felt the lowest that I've ever felt in my life. I just left a successful corporate job, no idea what the hell I'm doing. I'm like, I just cleaned throw up out of this old lady's car all day on a Saturday instead of being home or making real money, as I called it. And it was just the most degrading day. Still to this day, it's probably the most degrading day I've ever had in business in general. But you take it on the shoulder and you move forward. You go to the next day. And it wasn't the next day, but it was that week that I got my first real coating job. It was a wide body Challenger red eye. And the guy came in, was asking all kinds of questions about coatings. I was able to answer him because I was ready. As soon as somebody walked in, I had my pitch ready, I had everything ready. I had looked at my phone, taken a video of me selling a coating to somebody, to myself. And as soon as that guy came in, I knew exactly how to deliver it. And I was like, it's $1,500, because that's exactly what I needed left to pay my rent for that month. And he bit. And ever since that day, that's when I built my confidence in how to deliver a coating customer, a product, and how to sell it to them in a way that builds value and shows value. And this is before I ever had paint on the walls or anything. So I'm like, if I can sell this guy a coating for $1,500 and it's just me here with a Harbor Freight buffer and an extension cord and a couple packs of microfiber towels from Sam's Club, like, I'm gonna blow this place up. And that's exactly what my goal has been ever since that day. And I went from that one coating to, all right, let's do one coating a week now. And then, you know, the little details will kind of pay the bills in between. But I'm gonna shoot myself 1 day a week goal for coatings. Yeah, I hit that 1 day a week goal through Facebook and through marketing and through word of mouth. You know, I'd go into a dealership locally with a box of donuts and throw an Upscale Detail sticker on it that I had like printed up at the fast signs down the street, and just say, hey, like, this is what we do. This is, you know, what I'm doing. I'd always say we, even though it's just me working solo in a shop, just to try to like make it seem like we were bigger than we really were. And it started working. Like, I'd have dealerships, you know, some dealerships call you and they're like, hey, I've got 100 cars to wash. How about $3 a car? You know, you have to kind of pick and choose. But the one dealership that calls you and says, hey, I've got a car that got keyed. What can you do? You know, it's an insurance job, but we're willing to pay for it. You know, those are the ones that start opening doors for you and really start letting you progress to the next level. And, you know, when you develop those relationships, now you meet the finance guy at the dealership. And now the finance guy's trying to sell you coatings because he knows you bring him donuts every Friday. And it's just, you know, that times 5-6 dealerships, it starts adding up and bringing customers through the door. The customer that bought the new car at the dealership's got a neighbor. They go home, they go to their neighbor and say, hey, look what I just got to my car. They probably exaggerated the price because that's what people do when they buy new cars and go home to their neighbors and say how much they spent. So I had people coming in saying, hey, my neighbor just got this coating. It was $2,500. I want to do the same thing. And in my head, I'm like, oh shit, I only charged them $900, but okay, like, yeah, $2,500. We'll do a coating for you. And then I'd get them back in the shop and I'll be like, hey, I finished the car. It came out awesome. Just to let you know, it was $900. You know, I'm not that kind of guy. I want to treat people right. And they would just be so floored that the fact that, you know, we did right by the person, did right by the job, that would then mushroom and more referrals and more business. As we stand right now, we're doing 24 to 30 coatings a week in general. A hell of a lot better than the one a week that I started with. You know, I went from 1, it went to 3. From 3 coatings a week, I was like, oh crap, I can't do these myself anymore. So I found Matt, who's our general manager. Matt was a boat guy. He detailed boats. He's done everything from selling private jets to detailing boats. You know, he's been around doing a lot of different things, had a lot of experience.
Working with Brandon, and you know, when I showed up, we were doing 1 car a day, doing it as perfect as possible, laying it down, smoothing it out, doing whatever it takes to make a perfect product for our clients. You know, I have a background in, you know, of course, car detailing. I did a lot of boat detailing, sailboats, yachts, that whole bit, which is actually a lot tougher than cars because you're in, you know, 105-degree heat all day. So, you know, it's a little nicer here. We have air conditioning in our bays, which is a pretty nice addition to the shop itself. But yeah, once again, I met Brandon a little over a year and a half ago. I think I was working at Home Depot, looking for a way out, and I think I was on Facebook, the Facebook job section, and Brandon put a little ad in the paper, you know, in the Facebook thing, saying he needed some help. I showed up out of the blue, saw him standing outside, said, hey, what's up? And we clicked. I mean, ever since then, we more or less have the same thoughts. We feel the same about what we're doing. We're excited about what we're doing. We're into it. But yeah, I mean, that's really the basics of it. I don't plan on going anywhere. I'm the general manager currently. And you know, it's nice. It's responsibility, and it's really responsibility to the client is what it comes down to. You know, you work for the boss, but clients first, so we do whatever we have to do to make them happy. I don't know, my coworkers, they call me Peepaw, and I've asked them what the P in paw stands for. And they just say it's not anything, it's just P-E-E. And I'm like, what, pee? Like a pee in the corner kind of Peepaw? I'm not pissing in the corner! Like, I don't know. But I am Peepaw here at the shop.
And him and I rocked out here, just me and him every day, throwing our headphones in, jamming out to Jimi Hendrix and just having a good time. We got to the point where we were just doing our coating every day. And that's really what started bringing in the revenue that allowed us to, now I have a real marketing budget. Now I'm able to start up real Facebook ads that are paid, that are targeted towards certain demographics, that are really focusing in on the customers that we want versus the customers that are just walking in the door with whatever. And that's really the turning point that allowed us to start me, like I always say, it's like when we became a real business, even though we've been a real business since day one. That's the point at which I was like, okay, this is a real business. We're going to really put our feet to the ground and grow this. And it went from one coating a day to, now I have a waiting list because there's more demand for us than we have bodies to do the cars. So, okay, we got to find somebody else. Noah comes in for window tint. You'll meet Noah in one of these intro videos here coming up.
What's going on? It's Noah. I've been detailing at this shop for close to a year now. I had no previous detailing experience before this job, and I kind of found Brandon whenever I was kind of going here to get my girlfriend's car tinted, and basically, like, I had no idea of this place, and I came here just on a whim, and so I had to sit down and ate lunch with everybody, kind of like got their personalities, and then I asked him for a job, and he invited me back, like a month later. And now here I am, close to a year now, and I'm lead technician here, so it's pretty cool, big step. I've been focusing in on learning how to do paint corrections and coatings here. I've never done anything like this before, so it's just really cool to learn how to do new stuff, and it's a very good environment to learn new stuff. I grew up around here. I've lived here my whole life, so I don't know. I started trying to become a rapper about maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I have close to 10 songs fully written so far. Just need to get in the studio and record them. I'm trying to record later today, but let's see. Shawty, a bad mamacita, pretty as hell long, it's nice to meet ya. She like a monster creature. God bless you, better call me a preacher. Whoa, wonder how she move with all that. Wanna make you purling me all up in the cat. Damn, doing tricks, acrobat. Just wanna know time for chit chat. Yeah. But yeah, that's one of my passions is rap, and honestly, working on cars is another one of my passions. I didn't really know about it too much, but I'm learning how to paint brake calipers and gonna do a whole bunch of new stuff that I never thought that I'd be doing. So
Noah comes in for window tint. I meet him. He's a super cool kid. Zero experience whatsoever, which I actually like because they have no bad habits. You can train somebody from the ground up. And Noah and I hit it off, and I'm like, hey man, you want a job? Like, it pays next to nothing, but if you grow with me, I'll take care of you. And Noah's down there right now working to this day, and he's actually our lead. He's a supervisor here and a key holder at the shop. And just by growing in that person, it allowed us, now we can coat 2 cars a day. So now we have Matt, we have Noah, we have 2 cars a day on the schedule. We're saying no to almost every regular detail because we have the coating business coming in. And now I'm like, every detail that comes in, I'm leaving money on the table. So now what do? We're doing 2 coatings a day. I have a demand for at least 1 or 2 details a day. I need somebody else. And at the time, it was a jump because hiring somebody else meant that I don't pay myself anymore. Basically, I hire somebody else, I pay them what I'm paying my bills with, and I'm gonna live off savings until I can grow with that other person. So Gerald comes along.
Hey guys, my name is Gerald. I'm from Vero Beach, Florida. I started working at Upscale Detailing about 7 months ago, and I love working here. It's just a fun environment. It's good to work here. My boss teaches me everything I need to know before I start getting into it, what's going on with the car, how we work on it, what we do with it. And I started working because Brandon hit me up, and I was actually waking up and he hit me up asking me if I wanted to help him out with the car, and I told him of course. So I started off part-time and came in here. He said he loved the way I worked and loved my work ethic, and ever since it's been full-time. I love working on cars, I love doing everything I do, and when I'm not here, I'm trying to make side money, doing electrical, plumbing, whatever.
Gerald is actually a cousin of mine through my marriage. Gerald's a young man, super car enthusiast, like old classic, like American muscle, loves every car. He looks at a car, he can tell you exactly how much horsepower it has. Gerald comes in, does a car, I look at it, and I was like, holy crap, this kid did like a perfect detail first time. Couldn't believe his attention to detail. So he was a natural fit in for us at the shop. He's been here, he's downstairs today working ever since. He's our interior specialist. He's a super detail guy, super into the cars, working them on sales right now. And adding Gerald in allowed us to do those 2 details and also, or do the 2 coatings rather, and then add the details in, which also opened the avenue of now we're doing details, coatings, and coating maintenance washes. So the cars that we already coated, now they're coming in for washes and maintenance, and I had the guy for it. And when people know, it's like when you buy a car, if you get service after the sale, you'll probably buy another car. So then after I had a full staff here, I started noticing like people coming out of the woodwork that maybe did 1 car with us. Now they want to book like 2 or 3 other cars that I didn't know they had before. So now I've got literally like a week of business where it's just 1 customer running through cars every day. And my first bill that I handed out for somebody like major multi-car for 10 grand, I actually have it in one of my desk drawers in front of me. I was just completely blown away because everybody that I talked to when I started this place was like, you can never make serious money at a detail shop because, you know, they envision it as the guy down the street running the cars through the tunnel car wash and just drying it off with a dirty towel. And I realized at that point that that's not what it needs to be. It can actually be something that's lucrative, something that is a viable business concept, and potentially a multi-million-dollar business opportunity. You just have to do right by people, do right by your team and the people around you, and be fair and consistent with pricing and the work that you produce. And that's kind of like where we came from to where we are now. You know, like I said, we're doing 24 to 30 coatings a week. This year we'll gross a little over $2 million in sales. And I think, you know, the first week I was in business, I think I made like $150, and like I spent it on gas to get here. So really it's zero. But to see it grow from the $150 that first week to now, it's just crazy. And I don't think that I bring anything different to the table than any of you. You know, anybody can do this. You just have to believe in yourself and believe in the work that you're producing. And it's like the if you build it, they will come kind of concept. You know, people, if all you have in your town are tunnel washes and crappy detailers, people are just going to expect that, hey, a detail costs $50. But if you build a shop and you charge $300-400 for a detail, and you show them the value of your work by doing the work and saying like, hey, this is what I can do, you know, and if you build that, people will support you, people will come to your business, and people will really respect your business, and you'll show the value in what you have to offer. Just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching our first video here on YouTube. If you have any questions, concerns, comments about anything that we're doing, how we made the video, anything that you want to see here in the future, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you liked what you saw, please hit the subscribe button. It means a real lot to me, just starting something out fresh. I promise I'll get better at looking at the camera and doing this kind of thing every day. So I really hope you stick with us and see what we have in store. Thanks again.